Now, when it comes to using Sales Navigator to generate leads, the first most important thing you have to do is make sure your account is set up properly. So the first thing you must always do is that come over here and go to settings. And here's where if you have Sales Navigator by yourself, you can come in here and add your services. Make sure you put your company's website and the services you do. And I'll later on tell you exactly why this is important. Now, if you're a BDR, SDR, or AE working for your company and the company gave you your Sales Navigator account, chances are this should be set up already. If it isn't, this is very important. Make sure this is set up before we go anything forward. The most important thing I want to show you through Sales Navigator is the first thing is it's all about finding high buyer intent. High buyer intent. So the high buyer intent, the best place to start in Sales Navigator is right here. It says high buyer intent. As you can see here, it says find leads most likely to respond to outreach and express an interest to your product or service. So basically, here's how it works, right? This here will basically tell you any account that or company that will be interested in the services you provide. For example, if you're working for Salesforce, then it will show any kind of company, a SaaS company or software company or anything like that, tech company or anything that would be interested in Salesforce. And by clicking on this, you toggle that, it will start curating accounts based on the company you put in the settings. Another place you can do is also go categories. Now, this is something new in LinkedIn. But come in here, it says leads who have potential interest in your product category based on group memberships, profile data, and other signals. Basically, this is all about the company level, companies that be interested in your product. These are all about the individuals, people that would be interested in your product. So when you come in here, you can type in, for example, you might say sales training software or sales enablement software. And now we see here, it's slowly pulling up people who have engaged on LinkedIn through groups, through profiles, clicks that will be interested in this kind of software. See here, Chris, VP of Sales. Chances are LinkedIn saying she could be interested or she's interested in this kind of software because based on her activity on LinkedIn. Hey, real quick before we get to the video. Have you ever wondered what it takes to work in tech sales or earn 6 figures or more per year? To get the stock options, the travel, the work from home, the bonuses. If that interests you, I'll invite you to a live event that I'm hosting where I break down the high income skills you need to thrive in tech sales as a BDR, SDR, and eventually as an AE. If this interests you, click the link below. It's called the High Income Tech Skill Blueprint. And put your email, put your name, and I'll see more information about this great event. Now let's go back to the video. So next, we're going to talk about people who follow your company. This is a huge filter. So basically, based on in the settings, we said, okay, we work for a certain company. In my case, I put Lupio, the company I work for. If I come on here and say, follow your company, LinkedIn's going to go through all the database and find anybody on LinkedIn who follows your company. This is a massive, massive, massive high intent trigger that you should use. And basically, there's people who have acknowledged that I like Lupio or I like Salesforce, I like whatever it is. Now, the thing is, some people might be customers of your product. Some people might be past employees of the company you work for. But there's a big majority of people that are liking or following your company because they like your product. And all I have to do is reach out to the person and say, hey, Brian, I see you're following your Salesforce on LinkedIn. Engage a conversation. And I've booked many, many meetings doing just this. And then the last one, as far as the high intent you want to do, is people who have viewed your profile. This is great because this shows people who have come across your page, as long as it's optimized correctly, and show interest in what you do as a seller or as a business owner. And like I said, once again, it's a great warm lead opportunity to say, okay, hey, Stuart, saw you looked at my LinkedIn profile. Curious to know if you have any challenges in XYZ feature. So anyways, my point is this. This is the gold part of LinkedIn, the buyer intent. And I think anybody who you want to generate high quality leads, this should be your playbook here to start off. And from that point, you can build upon it. Okay, now the second major feature strategy you should use in order to generate high quality leads using LinkedIn and Sales Navigator is targeting new hires and job changers. So all you have to do is come across here and click into basically here, right? It says here, identify leads who've changed jobs in the first 90 days, past 90 days. Click on that. Now it's going to basically filter in all the people that are in your ICP. We'll get to it later. But all the people that are in your ICP, that your ideal client profile, who have changed jobs in the last 90 days. This is very important because typically people who have changed jobs, like Tyler here, Tyler Hooper is 2 months into the job as a head of revenue operations, Rev Ops. This is a great opportunity because typically leaders, people with influence who change jobs are looking to make it a change, make it a splash, make it an influence. And adopting new software or services is a great way for them to show their value to the company. All you have to do is reach out and say, hey, Tyler, saw you stepped into a new role at Qualum, and then engage the conversation to see if this is a fit for your solution. Great way to get some high intent buyers. Also, another great one that I personally like better is going to current company under 1 year. I like this better than the job changes is because typically, for example, under job changes, if Tyler's in the job for 2 months, sometimes what happens is like if you reach out to him, he might say, yeah, I'm still a bit new here. I'm still trying to figure things out here. Call me back in 2 or 3 months. But if it's under a year, for example, a person like David, he's been in the role for 5 months. So at that point, he has a bit more context of what's going on in his new organization, his new department. Then he might have a situation like, I've been here for about 5 months. I see where there's some holes, some bottlenecks. Love us talking about your product to get more insight into how we can maybe be of value to you. So those are the two things right there. Job changes and newly hired are a great people to reach out to get high quality intent buyers. Just making sure that you're utilizing the best messaging, knowing that probably the best fit is people between 6 to 12 months or 6 to 11 months, like a Kristen here. They're your best bet as far as high targeted leads. Now, the third proven strategy that's going to help you to generate high quality leads using Sales Navigator is be able to focus on department headcount growth. This is great. So basically, to come in here on the account level and click on to what department you want to focus on. So say, for example, I work for Salesforce. Typically, I want to target for sales departments. There's multiple departments here, but we'll say sales. And then growth. How much is this department growing based on LinkedIn's data as far as they're adding new headcount? Typically, you want to do at least about 30% and hit add. Once again, now that's going to tell you all the companies that have a department headcount in the sales department over 30%. So they're adding massive salespeople onto their companies. So then once you have all these companies that shows that their headcount is growing in the sales department over 30%, you can come over here and just toggle on and save. We'll say 25 of these companies will save. And we'll save it to a list called sales headcount growth. And it's safe. Now go back to the leads and come in here down to accounts. Once again, put sales headcount growth and include. So now it's going to pull all the leads that work for the companies that have a sales headcount growth of 3% or more. At that point, you can reach out to the sales leader, the CEO, whatever it is, that person, the ICP, and have a conversation saying, hey, Michelle, I see that, JP Morgan is increasing their headcount by X amount of sales reps. What if you have a greater conversation for the software we offer? Like I said, another great signal to know that they're growing and that it's a great to have a conversation. Could be some problems going on, some growth pains that you can help out with your software and solution. Okay, next, I want to talk about past champions and warm introductions. How this works is this, once again, you go back into Sales Navigator here, and you want to be able to get a list of your current customers for your company. So a lot of times, all you need to do is go into Salesforce, go to ask your marketing team or RevOps team, and get a list of all the customers, put in a CSV, and then upload it into Sales Navigator. All you have to do is come in here, go to accounts, go to upload accounts, and then from that point, you can add it, continue and add that CSV there. Once it's there, set it and forget it. And come back to here and go to past company, then upload your customer's account. So for example, I work for Lupio. I put in the Lupio customers here. These are all current customers of Lupio. I'm putting it here, for example. Now this is showing me all the people who used to work for who previously worked at a company that is now a Lupio customer. Now you come in here and put in, for example, your list of current accounts that you're working right now. So say here's your book of business here. You're trying to engage, and you're going to fill that. So basically, what it's telling you is that here's your book of business. Here's the accounts you're working on, and this is saying Steve works at X company, but he used to work at a previous company that used Lupio or use your product. It's a great way to contact Steve and say, hey, or Michelle, hey, Michelle, I see that, last year or 2 years ago or last week, whatever the change, you worked at so-and-so company. Curious to know in your current company now, if if Lupio or your software could benefit you. Great warm introduction, great way to engage. Another way to do this too is if you come into leads here, LinkedIn will automatically generate for you. It's called past customers and new companies. Basically, LinkedIn, based on all the accounts that your company's closed won accounts, it will automatically track whenever a person from that new company leaves and goes to another company. It will track that. So for example, if I bought a software and then I left the company, you can track me and say, hey, you bought a software here. Yeah, your new company want to buy that there. A great way to engage with past champions and warm introductions. Okay, next we're going to talk about personas and how using personas is a great way to really build out accounts fast and get high quality leads within LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So personas are basically a group of people that you typically want to target that are your ICP. Now you can have up to 5 personas at one time, like here. And all I do is click into each persona that apply to you. So for example, I come in here, I click on RevOps, and it's just going to pull into everybody who's a RevOps leader in LinkedIn. And I can also cross-filter that, going into, okay, RevOps leaders who's changed jobs in the last 30 days. And then from that point, I might do some more filters as far as the industry they work in. I want to target people that work in software. And right there, I just built down a better list of 171 people that could be my ideal client. Now, in order to create these personas, you just come in here, hit edit, and the personas are there. You can only have 5 at one time. But for example, once you come in here, you create the name of the persona. And then from there also, you're going to come in here and just type in the persona title, hit add, and hit save, location, and it's there. Set it and forget it. And once that's done, another great thing about having personas set up already is that once you come in here, say for example, I want to be able to do some prospecting to a company like DocuSign. Click on that. Right away, LinkedIn Sales Navigator will also automatically pull all the personas in this company. So I don't have to go through all the 8,000 employees of Sales Navigator of DocuSign. I go, okay, they have 5 RevOps leaders, four RevOps leaders. Click on that, and automatically pulls in all the RevOps leaders within LinkedIn that in the company. I click that. I can save it now into a list and go prospect into that. So like I said, personas is a great way to build out accounts fast and just really get quick and strategic as far as finding your ideal client to generate new leads. Okay, and for tip number 6 and 7, I'm going to combine together. It's all about having saved searches and using Boolean searches. So basically, it's like this, right? If I come in here, for example, and I want to be able to target, I want to get really strategic. I want to put in like, where is it here? Under job titles, I might say proposal manager or bid manager or tender manager. So it basically, when I do that, it's taking anybody that has this title in their LinkedIn profile, the job title, will pull it. So I want to look for people that are proposal managers or bid managers or that. So that's how it works here. Now, if you want to have somebody that's maybe they have different jobs in it. So I might say sales and marketing. So that means that everybody that you're searching for, you want to have, they must have sales and marketing in the job title. So each person has sales and marketing in each job title. Now these can also be done in this search here. So it could be proposal or bid or RFP. So also there's a deeper dive, but this here will dive into not just the person's title, but anything on the LinkedIn profile where there's the word proposal, bid, or RFP, it'll pull it up. So for example, right here, John M., head of customer success, maybe sometime down the road in his life, he did proposals or he did bids or he did RFP. So it won't be in the title per se, but it'd be in his profile. So it's a wider array of searches. It depends on the situation. I typically like to go with the title first, the title, job title. But if your list is very, very small based on that search, then defer to then this search does more of the profile search. Anyways, once you've done that, this is pretty much 4 million people. So let's chunk it down a little bit. We're going to say, okay, out of these 4 million people, who follows my company? Oh, okay. There we go. 4,000. Oh, cool. Then out of those 4,000, who've changed jobs and recently? All right, cool. This is a great list. 281 people. So now we filtered people that have proposal, bids, or RFPs in the profile, and they are following a company, and then also they change jobs in the last 30 days. Great list to have. From this point, all you have to do is now just save the list. I'm going to come in here and hit this toggle this button here. It's going to be save. Now that's saved this list. Now what I'm going to do now is go to my saved lists, and the one I just created is right here. Now all I have to do is give this one a name. So I'm going to say this right. I'll just say bid proposal. I'll say follow. I'll say plus follow company plus new hire. That's it. That means that now it's a set it and forget it. So every day you come in, you want to do some new prospecting, just come into save searches, click on that, and you have your list already made out there. Done. And the cool thing about this also is that once you save these lists, you're gonna come in there and anytime it gets updated with new people that fill that ICP, it's gonna tell you right there, new results. And you click on that button, it's gonna give you a fresh bunch of new leads to generate and prospect every single day. This is amazing. So if you like this video, like and subscribe. And I create new content like this every single week to help you get 1% better through B2B sales, through LinkedIn, cold calling, and emailing. Thanks a lot and take care.